Welcome back to my channel, Ragamuffins. My name is Raggyrog, and today I am bringing you a tier list in which I am going to be taking Misty from Pokemon, and I am going to be determining whether her Pokemon choices are truly based or not. So that is to say, I'm wondering if the choices she makes for Pokemon companions are totally original or basic as hell. So, as you can see, we have the categories here if it is a completely based choice, if it is a pretty original choice, if it is neither, if it is excusably basic, so that is to say if the Pokemon is, kind of basic, but it's competitively viable or just makes a lot of sense to have it on hand. And then there are the completely basic choices. Without wasting too much time, I know that this one's going to be pretty short today because she doesn't have a lot of Pokemon to go with, but whatever. Anyways, I'm going to start with Psyduck. So Psyduck has got to be the most based decision. Now, if only because it is not evolved. It is not a Golduck, and it is in fact a pretty low stat Psyduck. All of the evidence points to this Psyduck having pretty low stats in general, probably not even a good nature, and it's just bad. I would say that if it were a Golduck, it might be a different story, but it's not, and so therefore, if you are deliberately repping this terrible Pokemon front and center in half of your battles, then that's pretty base. That's an alpha move right there. Then we have Horsey, and for similar reason, Horsey is a pretty based decision. I'm gonna say it's pretty original, if only because it ultimately turns into Kingdra, which I would say, compared to Golduck, is a much better choice competitively, especially on a water team, which is what Misty is all about. She's all about those water-type Pokemon. So, we love Horsey. Then, for Goldeen, I have to say that is a totally based choice. Similar story to Psyduck, her Goldeen is not good. I believe there is if you look at the stats, as far as I know, Goldeen has a win ratio of 0. That is to say, the entire series, up till at least Diamond and Pearl. I haven't followed it in a long time, guys. But for a very long time, Goldeen never ever won a battle. And yet she still reps it. She refuses to evolve it. As far as I know, it doesn't evolve. I mean, I don't see Seeking here, so there you go. But yeah, she's repping a terrible Water-type Pokemon. And I gotta say, that's still really based because it's not a super common choice. You think of Gen 1 fish Pokemon that people try to get, Magikarp, right? But she doesn't. She goes for that other one. She goes for Goldeen. She went looking a little harder and she found something different. So there you go. Then we got what a lot of people might consider her signature Pokemon. These are the Pokemon that she actually uses as your opponent in Gen 1. Staryu and Starmie. So for Staryu, I'm gonna say that's neither. That's really neither because even evolved or unevolved, Staryu is a good choice. But it is unevolved. That is the thing. So it's a pretty viable Pokemon, but it's unevolved, so it's kind of neither here nor there. As for Starmie, I'm going to say that Starmie is excusably basic. Starmie is one of the most overused Pokemon to this day. From as far back as Gen 1 to today, you will still see Starmie in competitive battles because it is really strong. It's got great typing with its Water Psychic. It has Recover. It's such a beast, and there's a reason that everyone remembers her battle in Gen 1. So there you go. Starmie, we love it. It's a great Pokemon, overused as hell, but that's okay because it makes sense. Then we got Gyarados. And I hate to tell you, I'm sorry if you disagree, but Gyarados is the most basic choice that you can have for a Pokemon. It's cool. You worked hard to evolve your Magikarp, I know. But Gyarados is the most overrated Pokemon you can have on your team. And it's not even the best option anymore. From as far back as Gen 2, Gen 3, there have just been better water and flying type Pokemon. Lots of them. Gyarados can still hold up today, but he is more exploitable with each new gen that we get. I am waiting for a regional variant. There you go. When we get a regional variant of Gyarados, I'll be more excited about him. But until then, super basic choice. Then we got Togetic. Now, we all love the story about Togetic on her team, because, like, Togetic was never really, like, on her team, but she did have it. And she raised it from an egg as Togepi, and she carried that thing around forever. We all remember Togepi. We all remember. But as for Togetic being her Pokemon, that technically makes sense. I'm gonna say neither, because, okay, in Gen 2, before we had Togekiss, Togetic was kind of OU, as I recall. It was, you know, a very popular choice, and maybe that was because we were all excited about Togepi finally getting an evolution and finally being viable and everything. But it was not, like, the best choice either. It was very, very similar to Staryu, you know? It wasn't the best choice competitively, it wasn't the worst. I'd say, you know, half and half. Then we got Politoed, and I gotta say, that's pretty basic. Like, almost excusably so, but, like, he's in such a niche, and, like, within the niche of being on a team battle, like, okay, if you're doing double battles, and you're doing a rain team, I can bet with 100% certainty that Politoed is probably going to be on your team. And so it is for that reason that I'm saying that he is completely basic, and I'm sorry about that. He's good. I like having him. I've had a Politoed on a rain team, on a rain doubles team, and you have too. Comment down below if you have actually used Politoed in a doubles rain team. Prove me right. Come on. Then we got Corsola, and Corsola, it's pretty original. No one uses Corsola, not really. I mean, like, some people obviously do, but, like, there are better options. Corsola is far from the best option there is, but in a similar vein to, say, Horsey and Goldeen, Corsola is repped with, like, authority by Misty, so I can only respect her for making that choice. Then we got Azurill, and Azurill, totally based decision here. Like, Misty clearly makes a habit of just using terrible Pokemon. She makes up for it by carrying things like Starmie and Gyarados and Politoed and that, but then she'll carry around like Horsey and Azurill and that Togepi, and it's like, you've got, this isn't what I would call balance, this is what I would call chaos. But then she carries a literal baby Pokemon, Azurill, around with her, who is for all intents and purposes completely useless, and she loves it. She owns it. She completely owns it. She doesn't see anything wrong with it. It's like, this is her spirit animal. She's here for it, and so am I. Completely based. Then, lastly on this list, and wow, this is a really short video today, we have Luvdisc, and I'm gonna say another completely based decision for pretty much the exact same reason as Azurill. Luvdisc, not the greatest choice, not the strongest Pokemon. Sure, it's got its niche, but it's not my choice, and not yours either, I'm pretty sure. So the fact that she took the time and thought to say, hey, I'm gonna lean into this terrible Pokemon, it says a lot that she's just on a completely different wavelength from the rest of us, like 4,000 IQ, for sure. And anyways, everybody, these have been my determinations about how based Misty is as a Pokemon trainer. Definitely leave your comments down below on what you think. Did I get anything wrong about her Pokemon? Have I gotten the lore mixed up? Let me know, because I read all of your comments. I love reading your comments. Definitely get involved. In any case, Ragamuffins, if you enjoyed the video today, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get instant updates anytime there's a new upload, and then you never ever have to miss out ever again. In any case, my name is Raggyrog. Thank you so much for watching the video today, Ragamuffins. I will see you in the next one. Have a good one!